physical therapist assistant who obtained his degree from Jefferson State Community College in 2011 in what state?
Alabama.
Alabama. He's worked in Utah and California before landing in Texas. He's passionate about orthopedics and manual therapy, and he's also a committee leader for Covenant's Clinical Efficiency team. John has been very supportive of the SPC PTA program. He's provided mentorship to volunteers and students for years, serving as a clinical instructor, at least for South Plains College students since 2015. He's also been a guest speaker and guest lab instructor multiple times. He was our turf one guy, so good job. Here's what past students who he has worked with have said about him. John is very personable and passionate about what he does. John has taught me how and when to make therapy progressions, a method I will utilize in my own practice. John will set goals with a student each week so that they can be getting the most practice in things that are not their strong suit. John has been a great CI to work with. He's very energetic, a very positive guy. He's a walking encyclopedia, knows his stuff and teaches it in a very effective way. He has given me a 5-star first clinical experience. John was very engaged in my experience and promoted an environment for open communication and learning. John has been the best CI I could have asked for. I was nervous about whose hands I would be in, but John has served me so well. I'm very grateful for his empathetic nature, easygoing personality, altruism, and the blueprints he has given me for performing therapy. I'm excited to take the tools he has given me and practice as a PTA. So on behalf of the Physical Therapist Assistant Student Association and the C11s, it is my honor to present the 2022 CI of the Year Award to John Cole.
All right, so I wrote a speech, and I've never written one before, so I practiced it. It took me like 45 minutes to say. So, you guys ready? Actually, I forgot that one at home, so I've got a couple notes. We're just gonna wing it, okay? So, love being a CI, love being a therapist, all that stuff. I realized, like, as being a clinical instructor, that really I'm an influencer. I'm an influencer of my patients. I'm an influencer of the students. And I'm an influencer of like the family members and just people that observe us in action. And so I want to talk today a little bit about some of the influences in my path that got me here. So bear with me. Back in 2008, I was in a pretty bad car accident. I was hospitalized for 30 days, and after I went through therapy, my therapist came and gave me my home program, and she gave me a handout about schools to go become a physical therapy assistant. I was like, that's weird. She was like, no, you got the personality for it. Go look into it when you get out of here. Okay, cool. So I called up my employer, told him that I was going to be out of the game for 6 months. I was non-weight bearing on my right hip. I had a ORIF repair in there. And I said, hold my job for me if you don't mind. And he's like, you know what? This is your chance. This is your chance to make something better for yourself. You're better than a restaurant manager. You need to get out there and find what suits you and follow it. Okay, so now I got 2 hints. So I get home from the hospital, and one of my sisters did a Google search for me after what the manager said. You know, I should be something better. So what is that? So we looked up like high demand jobs with high demand jobs. Let's say that. And lo and behold, physical therapy assistant was on there. So it's like, okay, the signs are there. Let's go ahead and pursue this. So found the best school I could find in Alabama. Got accepted into that. Was going through school, and on my first clinical rotation. Not my CI, but a fill-in CI for the day really made an impression on me. We're doing gait training in the hallway, and I'm giving my patient cues as we're gait training. You know, longer stride length, even steps, get your heel down, stand up tall. Sound familiar? And so as I was doing this, Rodney stopped me. He's like, come here, man, I gotta talk to you. And so he was like, you know, you're overwhelming your patient with cues, VQs, and what you need to do is just kind of stop the patient, explain what you want them to do, and then say, okay, now let's put that into action. It took all the chaos out of it, and it really slowed things down and allowed me to get my word in, and the patient started responding better. Really big influence to me. So got out of school, and I started traveling for work. So I went off to Utah. And I get to Utah, and I'm excited to start working. And so it's like, all right, cool, where's the primary PTs at? And they're like, well, we don't have primary PTs during the week. They work at the main hospital. So they do evals on the weekend. And then you're it. You're the whole physical therapy department. New grad, fresh out of school. I'm like, oh crap. So, okay, who's my director? Well, she's a new grad also, and she's a CODA. So we were up against a wall. We had to figure this out. So I went into school, or into a clinic every day with my Colby Kisner book. And I was looking for influences from there because I had none at that clinic. So we survived the clinical, moved on to the next one that was in California. And in California, I got to meet Lou. Lou was like, he probably made the most impact on me as a therapist. He was my primary PT. From Brooklyn, New York, out of place in Southern California. But Lou was a great, passionate guy. He was a friendly guy. He talked to people like he just knew them, and he really impacted them in a positive way. And what I got out of him is he was like, John, he's like, you need to get your hands on these people. Whether it's palpating for muscle tension, providing manual resistance, whatever it is, get your hands on people. He's like, there's so many therapists that don't touch their patients, and they're really missing out on all the information you can get from here. All right, get my hands on, let's keep going. So where did I go there? I was still at that one travel assignment in Southern California, and I got a personal trainer. Personal trainer was really great. I didn't need to learn how to exercise. I just needed somebody to like load the weights and write down the numbers for me. So what I noticed he would do is that after I was done doing my set, kind of like what Rodney did, we'd have like a little talk, and he's like, yeah, I've noticed that you would do this and this. So with this next set going in, let's put this one thing into play. And so every time we would do that, we would talk, and he would always give me one thing to work on. And that was just real settling to me when I was under the bar. I wasn't stressing out about this guy yelling at me like, arch your back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, all this stuff. I could process that one thing I needed to work on, and we applied it. Oh man, I gotta look at my note. So the influences are starting to build up, and I'm really starting to like design my style of a therapist I want to become. It was pretty cool. Then another one, and this was like a total accident. This was the last one. Is I was working at the outpatient clinic I'm at now for Covenant at 98th and Slide, and it was a Friday. And I told my patient, like, all right, Friday, you've been doing really well. Let's do something different. He's like, man, I was in the Army a long time ago, and our rule there was that we never make changes on Fridays. And I was like, well, that's kind of lazy of you. And I was thinking about it a little bit more. And I was like, okay, as a therapist, if I make a change on a Friday, they can't call me on Saturday and Sunday and me recover from it if I overdo it. And so I created the progressions that all changes are going to be made on Mondays from now on. Mondays, we make the progressive changes, we work on them through the rest of the week, and then if everything goes well, next Monday, do it again. I apply that to my patients still to this day, and I think they're doing okay. They're getting pretty good results, and we enjoy each other when we're in the clinic. And so I encourage all of y'all to get out there, start working hard, but keep your ears open. Pay attention to the people around you. Find your influencers.